I love to laugh. I love to have fun. And if you can do that at the same time, fight and get tired and have the warrior feeling, I think that's the best combination.
Welcome to the Low Tide Boyz, a Swimrun podcast. I am Chip.
And I'm Chris, and this is episode 49 of the show. I know, it's crazy.
We're almost there.
It's crazy. Yeah, almost made it. We've almost made it.
We've almost done it.
On this week's episode, we have a longtime friend of the show who we're lucky enough to meet in Catalina back in the day, 10 years ago, it feels like, Helen Wikmar. She was a previous guest way back in episode 9 of the podcast, and again in our ÖTILLÖ Engadin Course Preview episode. And it's great to have her back on the show to talk about her story and how she's perpetually building community in her hometown of Gothenburg, Sweden. More on that later.
Now for the Adventure Time segment. So COVID has been taking off as we've all been watching, and the restrictions are about to be reinstituted or resurrected in Northern California or in California altogether. So we're worried that the state parks may officially be quote-unquote closed. Chris has a rough map, which looks very similar to the opening credits of Lord of the Rings.
Looks like Mordor?
Mordor. I saw Mordor on there. Did you just print that off Google?
Oh, man, maybe I had the wrong map. Damn.
the wrong map. For the first test exploration at Lake Sonoma, so we're hopefully going to get out there and be safe and see what happens if we try to explore up there. But we're definitely excited about finding a new swimrun course.
Yeah, and something I was thinking about while I'm like basically printing this out and getting a little thing to make sure I'm getting the distances and stuff right.
You have a sextant?
I do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Should we bring it with us?
That might poke us and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking of Brent Mulsbury's episode where he was talking about how Lars and Jeff Cole were essentially like, hey, we got this Google map. This is going to be great. That's pretty much what I'm using, so I'm sure it's going to be similar.
Be ready. We'll be ready for
Got to be ready for anything.
Ready for anything. Now on to this week's shout-outs.
Yeah, so this week we're shouting out Joseph Dickinson. He's been a longtime listener of the show and has always been great about giving us feedback, which we just super appreciate. And we just hope to see him out at a race in 2021. But here's a tip of the hat to you, sir.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thanks for being a listener.
Now for This Week in Swimrun, powered by RaceID.com. We didn't hear about any new swimrun events this week taking place other than the freezing cold day at Hella's Frostbite Swimrun, which inspired our cold weather open water swimming essentials Gear Talk episode, which came out this week as well. And it doesn't look like it was any warmer this week. In other news, if you're interested in checking out Finland and scoring some ÖTILLÖ merit points in the process, the Folkhansen Swimrun just opened up registration, also on RaceID.com, for next year's event that will be held on September 18th, 2021. The race looks really dope, and there's 3 distances available, team and solo categories for those interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, finally, our friends Fanny and Desiree's Champions Christmas Challenge is into its second week. The social media theme for this week is animals, so I guess post up your workout pics of your best leopard print tights. Chipper, you might have to dig those up.
I will.
Bunny ears, butterfly wings, or whatever you have for a chance to win some awesome prizes.
I saw someone had a shark head
they
were doing swimming in.
Yeah, actually swimming. I mean, it was pretty scary, I thought. But
the prizes look great. A head
prizes
swim
are
run.
Awesome. Somebody won like a ÖTILLÖ race entry and stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, get on that, people.
And there is a certain low tide boy reigning high on the heap and the leaderboard of this. I'm not going to say who, but it isn't me. All right, now for the Low Tide Boyz update. So, as mentioned, our latest Gear Talk episode with the Swimrun Labs ladies, Annie and Brooke, is all about the essentials for cold open water swimming. It's out now. We recommend checking it out while you're cozied up in your dry robe or similar warm thing with tea, cocoa, or coffee in some cases. There's no bigger updates this week, just a minor programming alert. You may have heard this before, but we're going to be taking a week off, and we actually sort of mean it this time. So the last week in December, There won't be any new Gear Talk episodes, and there won't be our kind of normal interview style podcast.
The show. Yeah, we won't have a podcast show.
But having said all that, we are thinking about dropping some shorter 15 to 20 minute kind of episode just so we don't lose touch with everyone. And we know everyone misses our voices every week.
Yeah.
So we'll give you something special for the holidays.
And that's TBD. I'm trying to get Chipper to take a week off, just like I tried months and months ago. But hey, you know what? You never know. Might be a Christmas miracle here.
Now for this week's interview with Helen.
Yeah, so it was really great to chat with her about her story. For those who don't know who she is, she's the mother of 3. She's head of operations at ARC Sports and just happens to be like a tremendously badass swim runner and also one of the sport's best ambassadors.
For sure.
Add on to that she's just super cool. So there's that. In this interview, we chatted with her about her athletic origin story after starting a family, how she met and teamed up with her racing partner, Isabella Hedberg, who we love, and how she builds community wherever she goes. This was a fun one, and I think that all our listeners will enjoy this conversation.
I also think that.
Yeah, then we are in agreement.
Week. We're simpatico.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you think it's great, feel free to give us a review on iTunes.
Yeah.
5 stars. 5 stars, baby.
5 stars. Tell your friends. Spread it around. Also, don't forget about Helen's Instagram account, My First Iron Woman. That'll all be linked in the show notes, so go check that out. So, without further ado, here's Helen Wikmar.
Enjoy.
On the show today, for the first time, 3-time Low Tide Boyz guest, Helen Wikmar from Sweden joins us today for her first solo appearance on the podcast. Thank you, Helen, for joining us.
Woohoo! Thank you for asking me again and again and again.
Yeah, well, we like people that like us. So
that's true.
I don't know if that's just human nature, but...
So the first time that we chatted with Helen was with her and Bella after Catalina, ÖTILLÖ Catalina in March. We got a race report that evening, and then Helen also contributed to our Engadin Course Preview earlier in the summer.
Right.
And we thought you're like an onion. You have so many layers, so many things going on. You're on the trainer right now. You have your own podcast, My First Iron Woman, Instagram account, very inspirational. So we wanted to kind of unpack that and dive into that. You just posted on there. It's a great follow on Instagram. Besides the Low Tide Boyz, it's probably one of the top 5 accounts you should be following on Instagram. You just kind of posted your whole story about how that account got started from you doing an Ironman. Was it Copenhagen or?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's hear about that story.
Yeah. So I started training 2014, and I couldn't really walk. I had done 3 large surgeries on my knees. So, and then the doctor told me that I couldn't train anymore, and I actually thought that was true, so I stopped training. Before that, I was playing handball on a high level, so I trained a lot. But after the last surgery, I decided to do as the doctor told me to and stop training. And then life continued, and I ended up with 3 kids and realizing that I couldn't really play with them as a 29-year-old woman. And then I was sitting on this beach and thought to myself that I have to do something about this. I have to start training to be able to play with my kids, because they are quite energetic, as I am. I wasn't at that time, but I am now. And so I started to train with strength for 6 months. Forgot to focus, previous in my life, I focused a lot on weight. Like I want to weigh 65 k. That's perfect weight for me. But at this time, I that wasn't the aim. That wasn't my goal. The goal was to be able to play with my kids, and that seemed to make me focus more and actually work towards that goal. So that was how everything started. After the 6 months with strength, I actually could walk again, and that was amazing. And I could start running after my kids. Very short time because I couldn't breathe after like 300 meters or something like that, but at least I could run again. And then I started to run like 1K, 3K, 5K, and realized that I actually enjoyed running. Yeah, then I realized that, I'm running quite long distance now. And my brother started to train as well. He also lost a lot of weight. And then we decided that we have to do something about the love for training. So he asked me if I wanted to do the Copenhagen Ironman with him. And of course I said yes.
How much time did you have? Did you have like, was it like 3 weeks later, or did you put in a full on training?
We did this half Ironman in Tjörn in Sweden. Then, I mean, I have never followed a training plan or a schedule, or I have to run this much to be able to complete a marathon on X hours. Like, I've never done that, but so we decided 1 year before, but the actual, like in January 2017, I started my account, and then I decided that I had to step up my game a bit to be able to feel good on the starting line of Copenhagen Ironman.
Good idea.
August.
So
yes.
I think a lot of people, and I can speak personally for myself too, I kind of definitely got tied up, and that's sort of very similar journey into fitness, you and I, is, at some point there just kind of was this one moment that I was like, I can't be the way that I am right now, and overweight, and you can't work out. This is before kids and everything. And then, so you kind of changed, like your motivation wasn't obtaining the certain number, weight, whatever the number is. It actually was, you want to be able to hang out with your kids and enjoy them and match their energy, because we're both parents as well. And yes, it is exhausting.
It does require a lot of energy.
A lot of energy required for children. So you did the Copenhagen Ironman. How did it go?
Yeah, so it did. Yeah, it went very well. I didn't have a set goal, but I wanted to complete it before 12 hours, and I crossed the finish line at 11:55.
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
Phew, yeah. So, but I also had this, I almost couldn't run because I hurt my knee during a race during the summer before Ironman. So I completed it at least, but then when I crossed that finish line, I said like, okay, I have to do this again because next time I can probably run a bit faster. Mm-hmm. So that triggered me to continue. And
then where did kind of Swimrun join into your sort of your training and your racing? Because you're still doing triathlons now, but obviously you're a very influential figure in the Swimrun community. In 2016, we did this half Ironman in Tjörn, and actually, like 2 weeks after that, me and my brother, we did this 10-island swim run in Gothenburg. We have never heard about it before. I think we had this full-length swimming suit, and I had never crawled before. Oh. So we had this. Wait! Hold on. You did the full Ironman swim, and you didn't do a free front crawl stroke?
Yeah, but it was very like it was my own style. I did my best.
Okay.
It didn't go very well, but I managed at least. But so me and my brother, we did this, and he has a very good confidence. So he said like, yeah, I'm a very experienced swimmer, so I can drag you the whole race. And it ended up like both of us throwing our, this is not good for me letting you know this, but we actually had a pull buoy in the start, but after the first swim, we throw that away because we were like, what are we supposed to do with this thing?
That's funny.
So it was, we didn't know how to do anything. Yeah, it was terrible. He dragged me all the way, and I think it was the last swim. Both of us ended up cramping the last swim and just laying still and laughed. And yeah, it was terrible. But I think we ended up like in 15th or something like that in mixed class.
Nice.
But we had a lot of fun, and everyone laughed at us, and we laughed, and it's almost like it is.
Well, I mean, I think that's sort of the hidden contradiction of swimrun. Like you said, it was really hard and it was awful, and you didn't know what you were doing. But then you're in the same breath, you're like, but we had so much fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's strange when you think about it. Yeah, but yeah. So we started at the same time with swimrun and triathlon, and after that race, I decided to find a teamie to try some more races. So 2017, I did like 3 small competitions with another girl, Frida, and yeah, we had good time.
And
shout out to Silva. What was it?
Frida.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. And then so you progressed there, and at what point you do work for ARC as well in their marketing department, I understand.
Yeah, so I'm a head of operation.
Oh.
Sounds fancy.
That does. What a title.
Yeah. I decided it myself, so
those are the best titles, the ones you give yourself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's ARC is a small company, and everyone working just to get as good as possible. So we're doing everything, almost everyone.
Yeah, it's like startup land,
startup life.
Yeah.
Totally get that. So was your first swimrun experience with your brother dragging you all over the 10 islands? Did you have a similar attraction to swimrun as you did that kind of first Ironman Copenhagen?
Yeah, but I did. But I mean, I love to laugh. I love to have fun. And if you can do that at the same time, fight and get tired and have the warrior feeling, I think that's the best combination. Like you feel like a She-Hulk.
Yeah, like a Viking.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny. So in that respect, swimrun is definitely a better sport because you have someone to laugh and chat with, and you can be sort of ridiculous together rather than, I guess it's weird if you're doing an Ironman and you're just talking to strangers and screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll probably tell you to stop drafting.
Yeah. A little too close.
Yeah. Hey, why are you riding next to me? This is a race.
So anyway, have you heard of swimrun?
What are you getting for lunch after this? I might get a burrito.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should do like that.
Yeah. And
right.
So I just love your Instagram account so much because you're like the outdoor ambassador for Sweden, it feels like. That you're meeting up with, it seems like no less than 10 people on a daily basis to go ice swimming or go and do a swim run or ride your bike. So, tell us a little bit about kind of the endurance in the swim run community in wherever you live in Sweden.
Yeah, so I live in Torslanda in Gothenburg, and we have a really good community. I think maybe we're 40 people loving swimrun, running, bike, doing crazy stuff. Every day it's like, do you want to join me for this? Do you want to join me for that? And also around Gothenburg, it's small communities that invites everyone to join them on their adventures and showing trails where they live and seas and ocean, and it's a never-ending adventure here. Actually,
that sounds so amazing. Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So
happy.
So with that, so it sounds like, it's actually not that dissimilar to when Chipper and I were training super hard and doing triathlons. All your training group, you basically would make your date for what you were going to do the next day, the night before. It's like, oh, well, this guy's going to go do this 50-mile ride. Do you want to do that? Oh, well, this dude is doing like a 2-mile swim. Is it kind of like that where you just have all these opportunities and you just have to decide which one you feel like doing that day?
Yes, exactly. And I think that's the reason why I can't really do this training plan or schedule, because I want to be able to do whatever pops up. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of that philosophy just in general, about not necessarily being on a training plan and just being really fit and just being able to do what you want. So I think, totally down with that strategy. But despite that, you have been a pretty high level swim runner. So did you ever put any specific work, like when you were qualifying or racing the World Championship, or how did that come into play with this lifestyle that you have?
Yeah, but it's more like the lifestyle gave me the opportunity to compete on a high level. I didn't plan any extra workouts to be able to stronger or faster. But of course, it's a motivation to know that I and Bella had the opportunity to probably be on the podium for ÖTILLÖ. So if I someday didn't have the motivation, I could always okay, but if you go out and run now, maybe you have a bigger chance to take the 3rd place or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. So a little bit of there's always somebody else doing the session that you're skipping. I guess your competition is, while you're sleeping in or whatever, there's someone out running, and that's who's maybe going to beat you.
Yeah, or your teammate, I guess, right? Because Bella lives in Stockholm.
Yeah. But I think Bella did the same thing as I. So if you have the mindset that we have, that we love training, I think that the problem we have is that we train too much, that we maybe need extra rest one day. And also when you're following everyone on Instagram, you see that everyone is training and training and training. I think it's really important to be calm in what you can achieve and what you want to achieve. And for me, it's more important to have fun and enjoy a lot of adventures than be the first on the podium.
Yeah, and that's a really, really great point that you just made there, because you have a great Instagram account. I love seeing all your posts and your stories and everything, but you're working out a lot. And I see that every day and I'm like, wow, she's doing every day is something different. And that's, I think, what's so cool. And just like you mentioned with Bella or whoever the partner is, it's not that you're doing nothing. You're doing something active, something endurance-y, something outside in nature. It could be a trail run. It could be an ice swim, but you're doing something for a lot of the time. And I think for people to kind of really have, I guess, maybe the confidence that the actions and the plan or no plan that you're doing are you, the royal you, not you, Helen. But that's to have confidence in that you're doing the right things and to take that rest when it is appropriate and certain things like that, I think is really key.
For people who haven't heard your race report for Catalina, can you give us a refresher on how you and Bella met and started racing together?
We met, I have this swimrun partner, Emma, that I was supposed to compete all 2019 with, but she got ill and decided to drop off just 4 days before the VAR race. And then I, 5 days before that, I met this really annoying, super strong woman running in my hoods, the trails that I fight every day, and it was nothing for her. So So,
Okay, I think we've all been there. You're just out on your normal run, and she just comes trashing through, just blows past you like it's not like a horse or something.
yes,
Galloping
exactly.
through, yeah.
Yeah, and like this annoyingly happy running around while I was like, an old horse or something. Yeah. Anyway, then when Emma told me that she couldn't race, I started to think about like, who can I ask just this 4 days before the race? And Emma and I decided that we want to try to be on the podium for ÖTILLÖ. So I had quite high hopes on VAR. And it's super important to have someone racing with you and that they know the expectations. So I asked Isabella if she wanted to run this race with me. And I think she said yes, like in 15 minutes or so. And then I barely knew her name. And I also knew that she could run in the hills really good.
So did you just wait one morning by the trail? You were like hiding behind the trees until you saw her go by and you jumped out. You're like, hey, you want to do a swim run with me?
No, because after she ran with us that morning, I added her on Instagram.
Okay.
So I saw that she had done swim run before, and then I just took the chance. I didn't know anyone else that could be so stupid to do that thing.
Right, because it's like 4 days. It's like, hey, do you want to book a flight for Croatia at the last minute?
Exactly, and I proposed to her that I could book the ticket for her, and she said yes. And just like a coincidence, she told me that she lived in Stockholm. I thought she lived in Gothenburg, where I live. So we didn't know that much about each other before the race, and then she arrived one day before the race, and we had a really super good connection, and everything was perfect, and we did a good race also. And then we decided to or Emma told me that if Bella wanted to continue race with me 2019, I should go with Bella.
So she gave you what in swimrun is called the partner's blessing.
Yes, exactly. She did, but it was a hard time for Emma not joining this crazy season, actually.
And then so you decided you and Bella became kind of a team, and you raced Catalina, and you raced it extremely well. You got second place in the female division, and probably was top 10 overall.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
Basically, you gave the Americans a bit of a schooling. You took them to school.
I think they gave everyone.
They gave everybody.
American, Swedish, from wherever you're from.
At least they heard us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two do race hard. I don't think anyone will argue that with you. You put it all out there.
And there's just a lot of screaming at each other when you're running hills, it seems like.
Yeah.
We heard that from other people too. It's like, these Swedish women, they're so powerful. They're just screaming and we don't know what's going on.
We were too far back. Now from that's true. Yeah, that's actually the truth. So you have this really great community right in the heart of swimrun country and in Sweden. And for the first time, ÖTILLÖ had a race in America, in the U.S.
Yeah.
Kind of talk a little bit about how was the excitement when you kind of returned back to your community? Were people really interested in how it went, or was it just kind of another race, or what was the temperature like, or what was the feelings like from everyone in the community?
Yeah, I think everyone was really excited about this, and so looking forward to see the sport growing in US, and I know a lot of people looking forward to race in Catalina 2021 and asked everything about it, and but then it didn't go that way.
Yeah. Everything kind of went sideways. So
Yeah.
so let's talk about that, because I mean, this year you guys look like ready that you're going to crush and, you know, put in a good effort at the World Championship again and you know, try to win that thing. And Catalina was basically like first and last race of the year.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
For a sport swim run, I think that was a shame. And for ARC, we had a good plan for the US, and we were looking forward to go and race in the US a lot, and also like screaming out our name over there, showing the good suits and all the gear. So, but for me personally, I think this year was like a blessing. I needed some pause from the hectic racing that I did 2019. I don't know how, I think I did like 14 or 15 quite hard race.
Yeah, like all of them.
Yeah, all of them. And then I also did like triathlons and small swim runs. And yeah, so I think I just needed to pause a bit and just enjoy training and not be that
caught up in everything, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But I miss the event. I miss the people. I miss
Yeah, totally. And actually, you're not the first kind of swim runner to mention that to us. I mean, I know Fanny mentioned that to us as well.
Oscar.
We've had a couple of other people that are like, this kind of break that happened that was forced. Nobody had a choice in it, but it ended up being a really kind of a nice thing that it's kind of, you get to go back, you get to take a break. There's no races, so you don't have to really be training super crazy for anything. You can kind of go back to what the spirit is of being in nature and doing your own thing and doing what comes to you and not trying to force it. And I feel like that really helped a lot of people.
Yeah, and also I think I have met more swim runner this season across Sweden and the small races, and all these spontaneous trainings and adventures that everyone invites to. I have the 2019 and 2018. I didn't have the time to try that out, and now we can do this more like a experience and enjoy nature more instead of just forcing the course and screaming. That's fantastic, and I really love that. But I still 2020 isn't that bad, at least.
Right. I mean, and I think there's something to be said, kind of to echo what Chipper was talking about. But it sounds like, 2020 could have been really positive if you allow it to be, and if you're in that place mentally. Now, I think for us, it was easy for us because we have kids, so it's easy to kind of focus on that. Do you think that's the same for you? It's like, hey, you know what, like, there's obviously more important things than swim run. But what was it about sort of your experience that made you be like, all right, this is a great opportunity to take a pause and reset and do all this stuff?
I mean, so I think I'm quite a positive person. I think that's how I handle things, maybe, to see the positive things about this. Of course, I can be really sad and angry not doing all the race, but I see this as a good opportunity to pause and to enjoy different trainings and adventures and meet other people and maybe reach people that I haven't had the time or chance to meet. Yeah,
it's great. I mean, it's I think that positive attitude we need more of that.
Yeah, but of course we can't really neglect that it's a shitty year, right?
Yeah, for some,
totally.
There is never going to escape that. But yeah, how many different little community kind of swim runs is this? Are you teaming up with another kind of organization that we saw? Oscar at a few of those, kind of doing some announcing and everything. So is there a little community, or is it just your kind of your 40 people training group and they're inviting their friends and that's how this kind of grows?
So the one Oscar is a part of it's just 4 people decided to start a race where they live, and and they love swimrun, and they want to invite everyone to see their beautiful course that I have in the West Coast here. It's different from a lot of races in Gothenburg is in the small lakes, but this one is in the ocean, so it's quite different, and not everyone have tried that. So they wanted to show the swim runners this part of the swim run.
Yeah, like showcase. It's like, hey, we've been training on this amazing piece of nature. Let's bring people out to share it.
Yeah, and they did a great job, and they had full races every month with 50% participating, and it was a good field.
Right. So Sweden still has a restriction that sporting events can't have more than 50 people.
Yeah, it had that during the summer, and now I think it's 8.
Oh,
or something like that. Yeah.
And I think the pools are closed because I also noticed you were making some rather significant progress in the lap pool down there, getting that 100 time down to sub 1 minute. Is that? Did my eyes deceive me?
No. So yeah, the pool is all the private pools are open, but they can only let in 8 persons in at the same time.
Okay.
So you have to book your line before you go there.
Yeah, that's similar to here. They kind of started that, but when did we start, Chris? May?
When they reopened the pool?
Yeah, when the pool, was it?
Yeah, it was like May
or June or something. The booking your lane is so nice.
Yeah, I really
like and
it.
You know that you actually have a good session there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have whatever time it is. At least and no one's going to.
You don't have to worry about people jumping in your lane and not knowing what they're doing, and that's nothing gets me more upset.
So as 2 people who are trying to improve their swim, and we know you've been working with a swim coach, is there anything specifically that you can kind of like call out that it's something that you've seen a lot of improvement with in helping kind of make you a faster swimmer, at least in the lap pool?
Yeah, so the best tip that I have received from my coach, Anna-Karin, is to film yourself.
Oh.
So you actually see what you do, because like I have been swimming for more than 3 years now. I think I know what I do, but when I see myself, when Anna-Karin is filming me and pointing out what I'm doing, it's not at all what I think I do.
Interesting.
I feel I might be the same way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or you think you're kicking really well, but you're not kicking at all.
Like,
or something.
All right, Chipper, we're filming each other next time.
Yeah, do that, and
then we'll send it to someone.
Yeah,
who
we
can
don't
tell
know
us.
what to look. Yeah, who can we send it to that knows to correct us?
Like Shane, we're looking at you.
Posted.
Oh yeah, we could just put on an Instagram for everyone to roast us.
Everybody, I'm
just
sure.
Make fun of us.
I'm sure Nicholas would be on there. Shane would be on there.
Coach is just salivating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's so. But my focus right now is to get this high elbow under the water.
Oh,
gotcha.
Vertical
high elbow. Pull.
High elbow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I have that. But when anyone filming me, my arm is almost straight down.
Oh,
interesting.
And then so you're just doing kind of different drills to practice on getting that elbow higher and more out front, I suppose?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
But it's shocking to see this.
Yeah.
When you think you have like the perfect elbow ever, and then it's like, no, you don't.
Mine would probably look like
that's
an
a
old...
bold claim. This is the perfect elbow ever pull.
I'm pretty confident mine looks like an old spaghetti noodle, probably something just like being weird.
It actually looks like a pasta elbow. It's just rounded. So Helen, we'll let you go with this because it's evening over there and everything. But what does 2021 look like? Are you looking forward to getting back to racing? Are you going to be doing a lot of stuff with ARC? Are you going to come to America once that's not a terribly deadly idea? What's does the future hold?
For ARC, I'm hoping that everything will start up again and the races will start, and we are ready to go to US and show everyone the great swimrun suits and the pool boys and meet everyone. I'm following a lot of swim runners over there, and it's always nice to get to know some of all swim runners around the world.
Sure.
So that's what I'm hoping for, but yeah, let's see. I think at least in Sweden, this it will be hard to start the race maybe in 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when is I saw there was a Hella's Frostbite swim run this morning.
Yeah. Yes, it started now. Me and Christopher will do that on Tuesday together.
Gotcha. Have fun with that.
Yeah, that sounds...
I'll tell you, first thing I do when I get to Sweden, whenever that is I'm going to Hellas.
I was going to get a fika.
Well, we can get that on the way.
Okay.
What? To where? Fika. Yeah.
Fika. Yeah.
Yeah, Hellas is good. It's like the heart of swimrun in Stockholm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Helen, thank you so much for being on the show. We love having you.
And again.
We love the energy that you bring, and this won't be the last time that you're on the show, I'm sure.
Yeah. Just keep your schedule open.
So what are your plans 2021?
Oh, wow.
Just one day at a time over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely in the off season right now. I mean, the first real race that's on the calendar isn't until April. So we're going to kind of stay fit, stay healthy, and see what kind of next year brings in.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we're hopeful and optimistic.
I mean, hopefully we can do what we've essentially done in 2020, which is race every swim run in the United States.
Yeah, which was 2.
Just 2. So, if there's more, hopefully we're racing. Yeah,
there was just 2 races. There's Catalina and then the Odyssey Austin race that you...
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, we did enjoy it.
We did. Yeah, we had a great time. It was great.
We were representing ARC for
extensively. Yeah.
Good. Really good. That was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really nice to get one race in. I mean, we've talked about this almost incessantly at this point, but like after talking about swimrun all year and learning a lot from people, like it was really nice to be able to actually just do a race and
I
fun.
think for us next year, we might take a page out of your book and kind of earlier in the season, that March, April time, if it's safe enough, try to host a couple more meetups, and we're trying to plan our own kind of little adventures for a little swim run thing. But yeah, just kind of starting to get that groundswell going a little bit more, especially in the Bay Area here and California. We have a good SoCal swim run community going with Andy Hewitt, the Monks, and the Team Baywatch, and Mel, and all those folks down there. And then we're kind of trying to do the NorCal thing up here. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely excited.
Yeah,
just keep growing those pockets of swim runners.
Yeah.
I had this event on Zoom for a swim run community in the north of Sweden, and it's actually, it was fun. So if it's still this restrictions going on, that's what I'm planning to do with ARC.
Love it.
To have
nice.
a lot of events on Zoom. That's better than nothing, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and you get kind of more one-on-one time. You can answer more questions and do all that kind of sort of stuff. But,
yeah.
All right, Helen. Well, we'll let you finish up your trainer ride. I know you probably were in zone 5 the whole time. And so we're just impressed with that nonetheless. So anyway, really appreciate you coming on and have a safe 2020, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, thank you for asking me to join. Yeah, always good to read your memes.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Low Tide Boyz, a Swimrun podcast. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast and leave a review on iTunes if you're so inclined.
You can also sign up for a newsletter at lowtideboyz.com. That's boys with a Z. And check out our meme page at The Low Tide Boyz on Instagram. If you have any questions or suggestions for the show, drop us an email at lowtideboyz@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Writing Easy Records for our show music, and of course our wives for their support and tolerance of our swimrun activities, hobbies, and other bullshit we do.
Finally, you can support our efforts on Patreon. Until next time, get out there and go for a swim.
And then a run.
And then another swim.
Then another run.
And then another swim.
And then run to the finish line. And just keep going until you're done.
Yes, or
until
run
you
to
cross the finish line.
Or run to the car.
Or run to your car.
Somewhere. Just keep running.
Only happiness.